Wait, what?
You're gonna go back to your friend at that point and be like, I don't know how you
the same thing happened to me at my first job.
Yeah.
Yes.
At the Wendy's, the late shift at the Wendy's.
That works.
Quentin here. I'm fine, babe.
This is Ethan. Nah, I'm gonna go. Don't worry, Devin's here. This is Ty. Let's rock and roll!
Welcome to the Power Up Brothers dump truck. I hope you brought your garbage.
We did.
I sure did.
I left it at home.
Yeah, Harrison, go back.
Man.
Drive
Go
all the
back
way
and
back.
get him.
No, get in. Get in the garbage can.
Get in the garbage.
Guys, we have
a different energy here.
a different energy. It's strange that radiating from this side.
Pick through the garbage. Can we recycle or
No, we don't do that here on the Power Up Brothers.
Wait, hold on a second, guys. We are definitively dumpster divers on this podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's the best way to describe it.
This podcast has the lowest carbon footprint. You can tell by the fact that we get new mic stands every week.
We throw out the old ones. No recycling.
Old ones go directly into the trash.
Speaking of dumping, here's a lore dump from the Power Up Brothers. Probably none of us would be sitting here right now if it weren't for this man to the right of me. This is Chris, our uncle. He bought us our first video game console and started us down the path to this podcast. So really, we should blame you for all the horrors.
Get in the comments.
Get in the comments and blame Uncle Chris.
That's right.
No, thanks for being on the pod, Uncle Chris. Welcome.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to discuss movies.
Oh, shoot. We tricked you. We done pulled the tricksy.
That's how we've gotten every guest.
Yeah,
on this
no
podcast
one
so
knew.
far.
Yeah,
they
no.
all thought they were coming to do a charity event. The charity event was our wallets.
Actually, I was going to mess it with everybody and just talk about aardvarks.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that would replace Quentin perfectly.
I was about to say,
it would not
no
be
less
on
off topic.
Yeah,
yeah.
Harrison, how is the producer corner over there?
Same as always.
Okay.
It's a little damp over here. I don't know why.
Can you cut off? Can you get off of that? Thank you. I don't like looking over there.
I don't like that Ty treats
depressing.
our producer, who works so hard for no money.
Can somebody explain to me why the producer is sitting over there and his head fits right there in that edge with what looks like an X marking a spot for a target.
Well, you'll notice the sword above him dangling by a single horsehair.
You'll notice the cannon right behind
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're gonna one podcast will have an apple on his head, and we'll get we'll nail it.
So Ty, what's up?
How dare you?
And if you're enjoying this content, you need professional help.
Yes.
Truly. Now, if you enjoy this content, please press the like button, hit subscribe, and share it with your friends, because there's more content coming, and you will enjoy it.
Whether you like it or not.
And tell us how
There's more content.
Tell us how you got those friends, because we
because we don't know. If you have friends, guys,
Bribery?
fair, yeah,
works. But that's why we need subscribers.
Yeah. Guys, welcome to What's Up. Lots been going down, but we all want to know what's up. Technically, Harrison already threw it to you, Ty. So tell the group.
And how dare he do that?
Tell the group what's been up. I don't know why you started with Ty. He's never ready.
I'm never ready. I'm ready.
You're ready?
No.
Oh my gosh! Why did I clap
ready.
for that?
I am ready. I'm so ready. I've been playing a little bit of Arc Raiders.
Okay,
again. Fun.
Yeah.
I let a friend of mine on a night mission. He was following me, and I ran into a pit, and I screamed, "Don't come this way! It's a pit!" And then he landed directly on top of me at the bottom of the pit. 10 out of 10 would get
Great
crushed
experience.
by again.
Yeah, bleep his name for us, Harrison.
I didn't say his last name or his address on screen.
Oh, well, yeah. Flashing on screen.
But yeah, no, it.
Yeah, I played it
Arc
with you a
Raiders-
little bit
Arc
too.
Raiders is quite fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
The players were not nice to us.
They were not. They said
They
that
said
they would
they're
be
not going to
nice.
shoot us, and then one
then
came
they
out
shot
and just
you.
started shooting us.
We've ran into
There's
other
always one.
players. They're all so scared of us. They ran away and forgot to loot anything, and so we just
Really?
came back after we had run away and got all the stuff. It's great.
Nice. Yeah,
You ever see the
It's a lot of
video
fun.
of like the two dogs like barking at each other, and then as soon as the door opens, they stop.
they stop.
That's
yeah,
every
yeah.
Arc Raiders player.
That's how
It's
it
true.
is.
Yeah.
You're smack talking on their way up. Like, you better stay back. And then when you meet up, they're like, "It's cool, guys. Just be cool. Like, don't fight.
Everybody
don't
just
fight."
stay chill.
It's all
Stay
right.
calm.
Everybody's still.
No one. The calculus is you never want to risk the good stuff you got because the guy you're
Yeah.
attacking maybe has nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Until you risked it. It's the
He had a
reward you
level
have.
1 weapon and nothing in his pockets, but
Yeah.
somehow he bested you and got all your stuff.
Yeah, but in reality, it's kind of a Monty Hall paradox because if you're almost always better taking their stuff and seeing what they've got.
Almost always. Almost always.
But you know,
Because the game's pretty generous with it's one of those games where it is resource collecting,
Yeah.
but it's pretty generous. It does give you good drops.
yeah. And I play a billion games all at the same time, and so I'm also been playing still through Final Fantasy Tactics.
Mhm.
As Ethan pointed out, if I hadn't messed up something in my run, I probably would have been finished by now. But I had to just
had to
about
backtrack.
restart. Yeah. And so, but yeah, it's a weird. It's been a weird month.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been
For-
weird.
Just for you, or
Just for me.
Yeah.
No, just for me.
You have nothing in your life going on.
I haven't played it yet,
that's-
but Hyrule Warriors came out today.
it did. Yeah.
I feel like that game has not been advertised very much.
I
Isn't it
agree
weird?
because I saw a YouTuber playing it, live streaming, and I was like, oh, he's bold. He's playing that game before it came out. No,
it came out today.
he was just playing it, and I was like, dang, Nintendo, you did a bad job.
They've not been advertising it. It's also one of their only releases that's coming out the same month as another release, Kirby. I believe
true.
Is later this month.
Yeah.
And that they have been advertising. So maybe they're doing one of two things. Either they don't really care that much about Hyrule Warriors because it's not a in-house Nintendo
Right,
game,
right.
or they're like, this is a Zelda game and
It's gonna
we don't
sell
even
no matter
need to
what.
advertise
I'm
it.
sorry.
Yeah.
What are the mouse controls in this game?
Actually, I don't know. Probably none.
No one knows.
I don't think mouse controls are going to be a thing, Ethan. I don't think any game's going to have. Hey, you got it in Animal
I
Crossing.
remain
Yeah.
inconsolably furious.
Yeah. It was reportedly a late
Inconsolably furious.
feature, so I think they haven't caught up to.
True.
Yeah.
Most of these games were Switch games that got moved. So
I'm sorry. You're telling me that in 1981, when they had a super scope and immediately had Duck Hunt for it, that they somehow lost the technology
Wait.
to build games using the hardware they create? Get
true.
absolutely out of here.
Did Splatoon,
They literally-
did Splatoon 3 get an update to use the mouse
No.
controls on Switch?
no, I don't think
That seems
anything
insane.
Fortnite got an update
Yeah.
to use mouse controls.
that is pretty sad.
That is
Maybe
pretty sad.
Splatoon did, and I just missed it. I don't know.
Wow.
Fortnite had
Let us
time
know
to
down in the
add
comments.
mouse controls and The Simpsons. and Nintendo still is
In
not.
fair-
You can't make.
Fortnite already had mouse controls on PC.
True, you could argue that they
It's
just
true.
moved it.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
just ported it over.
Splatoon 3 does not have native mouse and keyboard
That's
controls.
upsetting.
Well, mouse and
No,
keyboard.
Switch
no.
2 mouse
Did it get
controls.
Switch 2?
Did it get a Switch 2
It did.
edition?
Yeah. Well, one of those free updates where it's
Yeah.
4K
Tell you
60.
something.
Yeah,
The level of disrespect here.
they're just
If they had
smacking you
sold you
down.
the 3DS, and they're
With
like,
no 3D?
in theory, the objects can be in 3D if we ever decide to make a game using them.
True,
You'd
that would be
furious.
weird. That
You'd
would
be
be
furious.
weird.
If your tablet didn't work on the Wii U, or if the remotes, they're like,
Mine didn't.
theoretically, the game console knows which direction your Wii remote is. We're not making any games with it. You'd be furious.
So it looks like there are no mouse controls for Splatoon 3 just
Okay.
because I guess the reasoning I just found it from a Reddit post from 5 months ago. But I guess the reasoning is that they don't want to make it
Must be accurate.
unfair for people playing on the Switch 1.
If you walk
actually,
into Nintendo
yeah.
headquarters right now, there is no electricity in the hallways, right? And everyone from one department is working, and they're looking across these dark hallways at people over there because they have no idea what is happening in the same building.
You're just
No one's
describing
talking-
Severance.
No
That's
one's
not-
talking
that's
to
not
anyone
Nintendo.
else because the guys are like, "Hey, let's put mouse controls in," and then like literally next door, they're like, "Hey, I was popping off the Joy-Con thing here. This a mouse on it?" The R&D has never been so out of touch.
Yeah.
I mean,
This
but
is-
how do
it's
you
absurd
explain Mario Paint then? Checkmate, liberal.
Harrison,
In
it's got to be someone else's what's up.
1993.
Yeah.
They had a mouse for the Super Nintendo, and they had
And
games
the
that used
game
a
that
mouse.
and those games do have mouse controls on
Oh,
Switch
yeah.
too.
There you go.
Wow,
They did
we're
it.
Almost
I did it.
caught up to
I did it.
1993 now.
You
Yeah,
know
we're
what
almost
game
caught
has
up.
mouse controls on the Switch too? Deltarune.
It
It does actually.
It
Yeah.
does.
Everybody but
Does.
Nintendo.
Devin, what's up?
You know what's up, guys? Is that we are officially in the countdown to the long-awaited Metroid Prime 4.
We are. We're 1 month away.
We're 1 month away. By the time you're watching this, we're only 3 weeks away.
I don't believe that game will ever come out.
Yeah, no one does.
No.
Actually, we just got our amiibos in that I'll cut to like nice footage of the amiibos.
Yeah.
You.
This game definitely, Harrison's going to cut to nice footage of amiibos.
Yeah.
This game definitely was supposed to come out today.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because like they didn't want to say when Hyrule Warriors was coming out, and then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, they're like, "Okay, it's going to be on the 6th of November," and then Metroid Prime 4 amiibos, things that had to be set in motion much earlier, come out on November 6th, but Metroid Prime comes out
Let's be
December
honest.
5th.
Metroid Prime was supposed to come out today, 5 years ago.
That's true. I am excited that Retro got it back though.
Oh yeah. Well,
It wouldn't have been the same.
So
clearly
something
they canceled
I'm
it.
hoping for with Metroid Prime
Yeah.
is an update that adds multiplayer. This was like
Yeah.
completely off the table.
Yeah.
Something I hadn't even thought about, but apparently Metal Gear Solid Delta just added multiplayer.
They did.
And it got me thinking. I was like, maybe
I do like those.
they wanted to get it out as fast as possible, and then they might put multiplayer in
I do
an
like those
expansion.
kind of ad hoc multiplayer modes. Looking at the multiplayer in Metal Gear Solid Delta did kind of get me thinking to where like it's not a major feature. It's just kind of
No.
like I think in Delta it's 4 teams of 2 each, just trying to fight each other and get
Yep.
to an objective. It's a very simple kind of thing, and like games like GoldenEye used to just have very simple little like
Yeah.
multiplayers included, and that's fun. And I wish more games just did that.
Yeah, it's literally just like a map, a really basic map, and
Yeah.
then you just all play. I mean, Metroid Prime 2, you were just like
Yeah.
4 Samuses. It was clearly like
Very basic.
more of an
It
afterthought.
wasn't as
but
much
it was
like a
super fun.
Hunters kind of
Yeah.
thing.
So I've decided that in these next 3 weeks, I'm going to try to beat Metroid Prime 2 because I've never beaten it, and then recomplete 3 before.
Have you already? You play the remaster?
I played the
of one?
remaster
Oh, yeah.
of, and I've beaten Metroid Prime, the original,
Yeah.
a lot of times, like on GameCube. But I never beat the second one on GameCube because it was too hard. But I have beat the third one on Wii. So I want to go back through. I think it'll be fun to like lead into
Yeah,
Metroid Prime 4.
and they never beat the 4th one.
Yeah, it's too hard. I can't beat the 4th one. This is way too hard. No, what's funny, also Metroid Prime 4 finally got its first good trailer.
It did. It got a really good trailer.
It's like it's had trailers where it's just sort of like
Mostly gameplay.
just scenes of gameplay and not much like
Not a lot of
theatrics, not a lot of hype. And finally, a month before it comes out, Retro cobbled together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Retro in general, Retro Studios is the Texas-based studio that made Metroid Prime back on the GameCube. They made the first 3. They didn't make Federation Force or Pinball. They didn't even make Hunters, I don't think. But they made those 3, and now they're making Metroid Prime 4. They take forever
They take
to
forever.
make video games.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yep.
Like, when did they restart development of Metroid Prime 4? 2019?
5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Yeah. So 6 years ago, they restarted development in Retro Studios, and they've just
I'm
been
very
sitting
interested
on
to
it.
see what
Wild.
project they put on ice because they were already working on something.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, I
they-
can't remember if it turned out to be remastered or
No, they've never said what
What they were working
was
on.
See, I don't really have a problem with companies taking their time
No.
to make a game.
No.
But when that game finally comes out, you would think it took so long to make it, the game should be complete.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The bugs, most of them, if not all, should have already been worked out
Yeah.
Yeah.
because they've had the time to do it.
Yeah. I also
Right.
feel
Which
like
Retro has a
I actually
Good
when
reputation
that
for it,
happened when it got delayed. I actually thought it was like some of the best news we could have gotten is that they said we had a company developing this. They didn't live up to our standards. Like it was not, the game was not turning out good. So instead of like putting out a bad Metroid Prime game, they were like, we're handing it back to Retro, who's going to make a good one.
Exactly,
The cost is a bunch of time, you know?
Yeah.
The Retro has to essentially start over. Man, that was like the best news I could have heard because the worst possible thing to happen is when they revive a game series and do it poorly.
And it's just terrible.
That's so deflating.
So if you're excited about Metroid Prime 4, let us know down there in the comments.
or buy it this time.
yeah, please buy Metroid Prime, guys.
We need this thing to sell.
I'm going to toss it to you, Uncle Chris. Uncle Chris, what's up?
Well, personally, they're already playing holiday music where I work, so
Oh,
I'm going to be going insane in about 2.5 weeks.
Yes, yeah. I'm
5 years
amazed.
ago.
I'm amazed that like it's going to take you 2.5 weeks to go insane.
Yes.
He's resilient.
It's true.
Built up a tolerance over the years. I have been playing a game called Ale and Tail.
Ale and Tail.
I've heard of this.
I've heard of that. Yeah, I got that on my wish list.
Oh,
You like run a tavern, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
run a tavern. You have to build up the tavern, build up the character a bit. It was sold to me by a friend of mine, sold me on the idea by saying it's a low stress game.
yeah.
You know, it's just simple, and there's a soundtrack. I bought the soundtrack
Yeah.
to it on Steam, and it's sort of old Celtic kind of music.
Oh, cool.
You know, and it's really nice.
Yeah.
It is. They put some good work into the soundtrack. The graphics are decent. They're not, these super advanced,
Right.
but they're pretty good.
It sounds like an indie game.
It definitely is an indie.
It is an
Yeah,
indie
yeah.
game. Yeah, yeah.
It was published by EA.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Mhm.
I started playing it. There's a couple of spots I would have loved to have had a slight tutorial
Mhm.
just to figure out how to get certain things going.
Yeah.
You just had to figure it out. I did eventually.
Yeah, which is a very old school video game.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking, this is not stressful.
Yeah.
It's fine. And
Yeah.
I got the tavern open. I got the food made and the drink made, and customers are coming in, and I'm serving them. And then the zombie is attacked and killed me.
Right. Yep.
Wait, what?
You gotta go back to your friend at that point and be like, I don't know. How
You know, the same
wind
thing
down.
happened to me at my first job.
Yeah.
Yes.
At the Wendy's, the late shift at the Wendy's.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've worked some shifts where some zombies have shown
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Most of them were the employees.
And so my second time through, I decided, let's try something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not stick around. I was waiting for the zombies this time, and I was ready for them. And
Yeah.
I actually survived that time.
Oh,
I thought, okay, well, let's do something different here. So I started delivering food to people,
Okay.
Oh.
and it gets you more points. And I thought, this is great. And then the orcs came in, and they ganged up on me and beat me into the ground.
Yeah, that'll happen.
So this is your friend punked you. This is not at all a relaxing game.
They keep saying, hey, let's play this online.
Yeah.
It's got a cooperative, and there's
Yeah.
certain missions you can only do cooperatively.
Nice.
I was like, that's fine. Oh, by the way, zombies? You find zombies to be relaxing?
Yeah.
No stress.
Very relaxing.
He's like, yeah, as I panic, I feel really calm. Yeah.
I watched this really feel good movie called 28 Days Later.
The person's brain is just broken.
Yeah, right.
My comfort if I put it on before I go to bed.
Yeah, I played
Having
on
it
loop.
in perspective, this is a guy that's 56-year-old, and he's got 2 toddlers.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay. yeah,
Oh,
that's
so
a
he-
step down.
Honestly, anything would seem not
step down.
horrifying
Yeah.
compared to that.
He sold it to you like it was Rusty's retirement.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
the little
right.
game that just
Yeah,
plays
yeah.
at the bottom of your browser,
That's right.
where you just
Yeah,
let it
yeah.
run all day.
It would be like if Rusty's retirement randomly jump scared you by popping up to the top of your screen and zombies are attacking
It's
Rusty.
true. Yeah, it's true.
Just randomly throughout your day.
Did you do anything to this friend to upset him at some point, and that this is his vengeance upon you?
I refuse to answer that
Yeah,
question.
fair.
He's not going to incriminate himself.
Fair.
probably.
When you
That's usually
said
my- when someone asks me if I've done something to upset someone else, that they are
true,
I say
Yeah.
probably.
probably.
I'm not
It's
sure.
a safe bet.
Probably.
It's a
Maybe,
safe bet.
probably.
I'm sure he's forgotten about that by now.
I was trying to.
So you like it though?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a fun game, and like I said, the music is really good, and it's a lot to keep up with,
Mm-hmm.
but
Sure.
it's okay. It is fun.
I wanted to
Cool.
ask you: have you played the beta for Titan's Quest, the new one? Yeah.
Not yet, no.
Okay. Are you gonna wait? Are you waiting on the full release, or are you gonna play during the beta at all?
I'm waiting on the full release.
Yeah, that's smart. I think I'm going to do the same for
Yeah.
Jump Space,
yeah.
just because I hate the idea of ruining the experience
Yeah.
because you
Mhm.
jumped on too early.
Yeah, there's a lot of positive buzz, but a lot of the players who are like getting further into the game are hitting that wall
Yeah,
of like where
right.
the content currently is, and they apparently hit it pretty hard. Where like it's getting as soon as it's getting like really really good, they hit it. So
Yeah.
cool. That's one
Before
on my
we
radar as
before we
well.
move on, what was the name of the game that you've been playing?
Ale and Tail.
Ale and Tail. That's a great name. Reminds me of Tapper's Tavern.
And what are you playing it on? What's it on?
PC.
PC.
PC,
Okay.
Steam.
Nice.
Cool. Ethan.
Ethan, what?
I didn't ask what.
Don't interrupt.
He got you.
I was just saying your name.
What's up, Harrison? How you doing?
He asked you,
Oh, you asked
Harrison.
Harrison. Yeah, now Harrison
flipped
has
it
to
on
go.
you. He flipped it. Now you are legally required to tell us
Yeah.
what you've been doing.
Yeah.
Ethan pulled the sneaky on you there.
I don't really have much to talk about.
That's fine.
Europa Universalis 5 is out.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
You
reviews seem
clicked
to
off
be.
yourself as soon as you said that.
No reviews.
Have you haven't played it?
I haven't had time to play it yet.
Oh,
I
okay.
just got it, downloaded it, but I've been busy.
Didn't it come out for Switch too?
No.
What
No,
did?
it's just PC.
Oh, Civ.
Civ came out.
Civ came out for Switch 1.
Yeah,
But
but Switch 2 has mouse controls. There you go.
There you
Ethan.
go, Ethan.
Hey.
Civ 2 mouse controls. They did it.
but yeah, the game seems to be the reviews seem to be pretty consistent where it's like it's fun. If you have played Europa Universalis before, like you're gonna have fun. If you're new to the series, maybe wait a little bit.
Yeah.
Because there are some issues right now, mainly with
Technical issues or
just like with how the game presents itself. It's not very beginner friendly.
gotcha.
I feel like that's
There-
every Europa Universalis. I've tried to play it 3 times now with 3 different installations,
yeah.
and I just bounced off of it because I couldn't get my economics degree before I started.
Yeah, it is spreadsheet simulator. The
Yeah.
game.
Correct.
Yeah.
That makes sense why you
But-
like it. But
yeah.
I'm like, I'll
But,
play
Crusader
Crusader Kings. That's about as close as I can get.
It's a good
Yeah.
game.
Which like EU4. People have been saying that it seems like a cross between Crusader Kings, Europa Universalis, and Victoria, which is
Okay.
pretty interesting.
Cool.
But yeah, the like one thing is that like a mechanic that becomes very important later on is like crown control, like how much you can actually control your realm.
Cool.
But like the game doesn't really explain that, and so a
Gotcha.
lot of like new players, like like 200 years into the game, like they're like, oh, like everything's falling apart. Why is that?
Yeah. 'cause
Oh,
they
it's
don't
because
have-
like I've been neglecting my crown control
Yeah.
because the game didn't really.
I'm not a baby though. I don't
Yeah.
need the game to tell me how to play.
Yeah,
Right.
I'll
sure.
figure it out.
I'll
But
just power through it like all the kings of old.
yeah,
Kings
But
of Old never powered through anything.
it seems interesting.
Yeah.
There's I like that in the game something that's new is that like your actual control of like different counties.
Mhm.
Like the further you get away from your capital, the less control you have.
Makes sense.
So the game incentivizes you to like create vassals in the early game.
Oh.
And then like once you hit like the 17th century and like the age of absolutism, like you can begin to gain more control and like centralize power, and like it's very historical.
This game makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
with how real it gets.
But yeah, that's
Cool.
pretty much been it.
Okay.
Ethan, what's up?
So I had just got the game Dispatch,
Oh, nice.
and
Wow.
I've watched a bunch of it already. I'd seen so much of it. I was like, I gotta get this.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is good. And
I think I've seen that game
it
before.
is extremely, extremely good.
Mhm.
I enjoy it quite a lot.
I want to get it. I've seen some clips from it, and I'm like, oh, this looks good.
Yes, yeah. I don't think I ever looked it up, but we were talking about it. It's basically made, if not by the people who used to work at Telltale, it's made like a Telltale
okay.
game.
Yeah.
But they got it's like the perfect like recipe for a Telltale game because it's not like a lot of them, like the art style isn't quite right, and it just doesn't look. A lot of Telltale games like just look off, you know,
Yeah.
like they're
Oh,
like,
I know what you mean. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, where they kind of look like the characters, but then don't. Or if they're original characters, they look too much like video game models and not. This one like nails it. It looks like an animated show.
Yeah.
It just looks like a CGI, you know, show.
I think the only Telltale game that has actually like looked good before this was Strong Bad Cool Games for Attractive People.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Correct.
But they even make a joke about how bad Homestar looks in this game
Yeah.
because
Because it's,
Yeah.
it's impossible to nail.
I think he like says, you know, you're lucky the player can't tilt the camera. Like, yeah.
But I think one of the things I really, really like about the game, like the mini games, the little like quick time stuff is fun. I like the setup. I haven't got very far, but
Yeah.
the thing I really like about the way that they tell their story is they mix it perfectly between setting stakes, like clearly making it for adults.
Yeah.
Obviously, like it has a lot of language in it, but clearly making it for adults, but not losing the like Saturday morning cartoon effect of like
Interesting.
not every supervillain is like, oh, like invincible, where it has to be like, well, yeah, any supervillain could just kill you at any point.
Yeah.
And this, they play it a little more like a Saturday morning cartoon. The guy who's going to kill you is voiced by Matt Mercer, and like he's clearly dangerous, right?
Right.
And then the thugs in the bar are like shooting lasers and stuff, and you know,
Yeah.
they're like getting like their heads bashed in with like a Coke bottle or something, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they keep the stakes to where it's fun and engaging, and then that can make like the Office place drama more
Actually matter.
actually matter.
Yeah.
And so like the characters are all extremely funny and endearing, and the
What's the gameplay at? Like,
the gameplay is a lot of like little quick time events, and mostly it's like you're selecting, you know, options to a story like a Telltale game. But the actual
okay.
gameplay is you were a superhero who uses this big like mech suit. Your mech suit gets damaged, and so while it's being repaired, you're working at this dispatching office that sends out these teams of superheroes. You're filling in the position no one wants, which is Z-Team, because they're a bunch of villains who have been reformed and they don't play nice. And so your workday is like you sit down at this dispatcher and you're watching crimes in the city, and you're having to pick which villains to send to solve them.
Interesting.
And some are very bad at solving different crimes.
Yeah.
One of them just keeps starting fires that then you have to put out. Every time he's on break, a fire starts near him. So you're having to like pick the villains, and you have to pick, it's a resource management essentially. Is that like every hero has an amount of time that they take to do missions. They have different strengths and weaknesses, and pairing them up. Some work together well, some don't. You got to kind of listen to the banter and see how they're like talking to each other.
Yeah.
A bunch of them are voiced by YouTubers. Moist Critical voices a character called Sonar.
Okay.
Absolutely hilarious. Jacksepticeye voices a character as well.
Jesse Pinkman, or the guy Aaron Paul.
Aaron Paul,
Jesse
who
Pinkman,
played
yeah.
Jesse in Breaking Bad, he voices the main character.
Oh, cool.
And then
That's the first name you said that I know who is.
Laura
yeah.
Bailey as well. She voices
Lucina in Fire Emblem Awakening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she voices everybody. You've seen her in a billion
Probably,
things.
yeah.
She
yeah.
voices
Heard her in a billion things.
Yeah, one of the characters. Yeah, it's great. It's a great setup. I like the decisions too, how they feel really impactful.
Mhm.
Like you have a lot of decisions where it's just affecting the relationship between you and everyone else.
Oh, okay.
And those feel really fun to go through and like see the different variants and see all the dialogue is also incredibly well written. It's just very, very witty. But then once like they release them in like 2 episodes at a time, and usually in the second episode there will be 1 or 2 really big decisions that change a lot, like a lot.
Yeah.
And I've really enjoyed the way that they've spaced those out, because a lot of times in Telltale games it's often just like this character dies or that, or they
Right.
or like the obvious bad choice, or you avoid it, right?
True.
In this one, it's like it's tougher to say. It's really interesting, so it makes it replayable. Also, it just has made me like remember how much I enjoy episodic storytelling.
Yeah.
I like having to wait a week or two to find out the next part.
Oh, the
of
game is
story.
still coming out.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
cool.
released in episodes. So episode 5 just dropped.
Yeah, they do it once a week, right? Like it's not like
It's like a
on
TV
schedule.
show.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's real that I forget
like
how
that.
much I enjoy that. It's just fun.
I think
It gives
we
you
all
something
did.
to look forward to.
I think Netflix, it was a cool idea the first time we saw it when just everything gets dumped onto it. But I feel like
I think like it depends on the show or the story. Sometimes you want to binge it, and then sometimes it's better to kind of drip feed it.
Yeah.
Actually, I saw what you're talking about. I didn't know what the name of it was, but I thought this is some big studio making a new animated series or movie or something. And I thought the artwork was great. It was smooth. And then I saw that they were making choices. This is a game.
It's a game. Yeah.
This is a game. This is amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was called though.
Yeah. It's one of the few times where I see a game like that and I'm like, it could win Game of the Year. It is that good at parts. It is that like captivating at
Tragic
parts.
that it came out this year.
Yeah. Tragic.
With so much on the
it could
line.
be nominated.
Probably could be.
In most people's pools, I think it'll probably be on there.
Yeah. And it's called Dispatch.
It's called Dispatch.
Guys, go play Dispatch, but don't vote for it for Game of the Year. Vote for Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Vote for Mario Paint from 1993.
The only mouse controls. Donkey Kong Bonanza does in DK Artist. Well, guys, that was what was up. Yeah. Tell us what was up with you down there in the comments. That's Commenters, right. What's up? I'm tossing it to you guys.
Or tell us on our Blue Sky account.
Our Blue Sky account that is not run by an unhinged Lorax. No. Not at all. I am a little scared to tell people to go to our Blue Sky. I'm a little worried.
That's how you know it's good content.
The fear motivates you.
Guys,
to good
go to our Blue Sky account at your own risk.
Guys, drive by our Blue Sky account. Look at it from a distance and make sure it's safe.
Devin does not endorse anything that the Blue Sky account posts, but the other 4 of us do.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, Uncle Chris, you hopped on this?
Oh. Yeah, I forgot to tell you.
I'm still stuck on the fact you said that it's not a Lorax that's doing it.
Yeah, that guy over there. He just sort of he speaks for the trees. He fights for the trees.
He used to be a Lorax, but he gave up on the tree thing. He's trying something.
So now
different.
he's just
I speak for the lumber company.
Yeah, he's sold out.
There you go.
He's sold out.
Well, now we get to go to my favorite part, everybody's favorite part. I don't think it's everybody's part. No, but this time we get to do the guest topic of the week.
And you can join. We have exclusive videos. We've got some little extra content on there. And
the best part,
most importantly, you get to add your topics to the incredible slime topic bag from Dragon Quest 1, I want to say. This is the first time a slime showed up?
Yeah, the very first one. Yeah.
This slime bag is specifically from Dragon Quest 4.
No, it's definitely not.
But what goes in that topic bag?
Yes, you get to suggest topics for the topic bag. We are very excited to be hearing from you guys.
I know. We want to hear from you.
It can be anything, no matter how unhinged or illegal. Put it in there and we will talk about it.
There is a waiver.
All right, get us canceled.
That you sign. Power Up Brothers is not required to read the topics that you put in the topic bag.
Plus, we have the secret to life, the universe, and everything, but we'll only give it to Patreon subscribers.
That's true.
We have
It's
all
true.
the cheat
You will
codes.
literally
It's actually
live forever
it's
if
in
you
that
subscribe
bag.
to
We
Patreon.
might pull it out.
This is
one of these
legally
You
times.
all
binding.
now have one Patreon subscriber, and it's me.
Oh.
What are the answers?
Well, guys, normally we pull from our topic bag, but we have a guest, so the guest gets to give us his topic to pick apart. Uncle Chris, what's your topic?
What are we talking about?
of this week?
Okay, this will take a few minutes for me to explain, but
Please do.
That's the best
You
kind
are
of topics.
already doing better than Quentin.
Yeah,
that's
Quentin.
right.
Yeah,
if you can actually keep it to a few minutes and not an
If you
hour,
can keep it video game related.
and if you can keep it
that
video
would
game
be
related, you're
amazed.
doing way better
We'd
than
be
me.
amazed.
this is very much video game related.
Perfect.
I've been thinking about where should video games go from where they are right now?
Okay.
What should be the future of video games? How can it progress forward? And in order to understand that, we have to go back long time ago when video games first really got going, the Atari 2600.
Sure.
You know, that was the big one back at that time.
Yep.
And it was fun. It was.
Oh, yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, you provide a very important demographic that is never in this room when we're recording, which was you actually were there with the Atari 2600. And
Yes.
Yeah.
I was there. And at first they said, you know, for the shooter games are shooter games. We know that.
Right.
Sports games are sports games. And they said, it's just like being there. Of course, everybody knew that was nonsense. It's a pixelated character you're pushing across a little bitmap. So instead, as games progress, now the technology progresses over time. But they started finding a way to get people into the games. And that was they wrote stories. Some of the games that we used to buy came with a little booklet, and it wasn't how to play the game or cheat codes or anything else. It was the story behind the game.
Interesting. In
That's a
the
good
instruction
point.
manual.
Yeah. Sometimes they
it
didn't
was the
line up.
instruction.
Sometimes
Oh,
like the
yeah, that's
story
right.
like was clearly written by someone trying to in America when the game was made in Japan, and they were
Yeah.
trying to sell it because it was an important part.
Yes.
Oh,
You know,
that's
that lore to the game. But that lore, when you read it and you learned about the good guys, bad guys, and there was depth to it, it gave that game more of a level to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was fun. It was so much fun. And they started putting more and more effort into the writing,
Yeah.
you know, and a really good example of that I got into back in the early 90s was the game Ys.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's like one of
and
Eaton's
two. Oh, yeah.
favorite
I
series.
talk about that
yeah.
a lot on the podcast.
Well, Ys 1 and 2, I got to play it, and the cutscenes were great. The narration was done by somebody who was fantastic at voice work. The mechanics of it was a little bit different, but the story, it had such depth and such character development. I just was absorbed by it.
And this wasn't on the Atari 2600.
Oh no, this
This
was on the TurboGrafx or PC Engine.
Oh,
Yeah.
yep. Mm-hmm.
What Ys game just came out? It's Ys
Nordics 9.
9.
9.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it was just fun.
Yeah.
Now this kept on, and the writing and the storytelling got just so good,
Yeah.
and the hardware kept advancing.
Sure.
Of course.
Right.
Then there was a point where they hit a balance, to where the writing and the hardware, they were in equilibrium.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was around that time that games such as Knights of the Old Republic was made.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
It's one of the best games ever, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just fantastic.
Classic BioWare.
If you start talking about the 6th console generation, this whole room's going to light up.
erupt. Yeah, it erupts.
Yeah.
You know, but that's the kind of storytelling that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, just real depth to these characters, replayability with all the choices that
Yeah.
could be made.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even if you look at
Fantastic.
modern games like Baldur's Gate, you could put it side by side with Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
it looks.
I'm
it
fairly
looks
certain
great.
it's the same developers.
Yeah.
because it's a bunch of X-Bot. Larian is a
Yeah,
X
if you put
BioWare.
them right
Mhm.
next to each
Ex-BioWare.
other. It's
Yep.
very similar.
Very
lots
similar.
of decision making,
Yeah.
lots
Yep.
of paths and routes.
Yeah. But to give you another example, what year did Final Fantasy VII come out?
1997.
7.
Yeah. Okay, that's around that time of Equilibrium. The graphics for the time were really good.
Yeah.
Although, kind of blocky
The battle
now.
graphics
Yeah.
were great.
Yeah.
in 7.
Battle graphics
Well, and
were
they
great.
utilized the pre-rendered backdrops that little
Yeah.
pixelated characters
Yes.
ran around. Yeah.
But there was a character in that game.
Mhm.
I believe the name was Aerith.
Yeah.
What was the response to players when Aerith died?
I don't
in
think
that
anybody
game?
cared. I don't think anybody cared. I don't think anyone noticed.
Spoilers for this now nearly
Spoilers
30-year-old
for this
game.
More
yeah.
than 30.
There, like,
More than yeah.
there is a whole thing about
Almost there.
like the previous Final Fantasy that had someone like really like critical die. Was in 4.
Yeah.
There's a party member that dies, but like
They're like the old guy.
they're like the old guy
Yeah, yeah.
whose daughter is already dead,
Yeah.
and he's like trying to get revenge, and it's like very obvious. That's
Yeah.
the way that they had written every death.
Yeah.
It was like someone who's like come out of retirement, or is
or
like,
sacrifices themselves to save someone.
yeah,
Not not a tragic death
yeah.
that
where the villain wins.
where the villain just he got what he wanted. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
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 I think most people even said that when they were playing that, they were like, "Oh, she's not really dead. Like she's gonna come
Yeah.
back." And then they beat the game, and they're like,
I don't know what happened.
"I don't know what happened." Yeah,
What just
Yeah.
happened?
People
Yeah.
replayed it trying to figure out how you keep her alive.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They assumed
Yeah.
it would have been possible.
yeah.
But that character, just people were so fond of that character.
Yeah.
They were so connected with it. But that was at that time, late 90s, early 2000s. That was in the time of Equilibrium, where the storytelling and the graphics worked together. They were about the same level. But then the graphics started getting better and better and better, and people started relying on the graphics. And I think a lot of the writing has suffered.
I agree. Yeah,
It's suffered a great deal.
I think a lot of things have wound up suffering because we talk about it a lot, is that like AAA gaming now is so hyper focused on graphics over the last like decade and a half.
Sure.
That like even like sometimes like gameplay mechanics.
I think it's-
gotten
I think
fallen
it-
to the side.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing is more to do with like the state of the industry, and that like with a lot of larger developers, a lot of pressure is placed on them to deliver games in very tight time constraints, or to deliver them. They're very like kind of focus grouped. We see this with movies too, where they a lot of decisions about the game and even this like the story and the content in the game is made by an executive or a producer to target a certain release window, or to target a certain demographic, or to target like a certain corner of the market, and none of those things impact how good the game is.
Exactly.
or they do impact it. They don't promote good game or good story. They are just kind of corporatized, and I think that's why you see a lot of indie games flourishing in that space, where like they're telling good stories. We were one of the games that we were talking about with Harrison about playing on the pod is Disco Elysium, which is an indie game that has a really terrific and very kind of novel and entertaining story. And I think that the reason you see that more often in that space is just that there's a lot more freedom to kind of explore those kind of stories. And I think that like even games that I think have great, like really good stories nowadays, though, tend to. I think that some developers are more focused on other things, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like we were talking about Baldur's Gate, compared to like Knights of the Old Republic or even Mass Effect, their previous games. I feel like Baldur's Gate 3, while it has a great story and especially very entertaining characters, I don't think the story is as good as like a Knights of the Old Republic or even like a Mass Effect. But I think that isn't necessarily because the writing's worse. It's largely the same people working on it. I think it's because the desire to give you more choices and more freedom is greater. There's way more directions the story and endings and stuff in Baldur's Gate can take than in a Knights of the Republic or a Mass Effect or something like that. Your options, every little choice you make can drastically change the story, and the game has like 50 endings.
Yeah. Which is what makes people love it.
That was their goal. Yep. But that's not necessarily conducive to telling the most like emotionally rich and textured story, right? Like
it's the Breath of the Wild thing where a gameplay element impacts their ability to tell you a story. Like if Breath of the Wild had a linear story, it would not fit with the rest of the game, where you wouldn't be able to go wherever you want to.
Yep.
But you've been talking a lot about Final Fantasy Tactics, and
Tactics, they just don't make them that way.
But see, that goes into what you're saying. Final Fantasy Tactics came out during that equilibrium you're talking about.
Exactly.
That's true. Is it 97, 98?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's the point.
Yeah.
Ty, you're right. Indie games, a lot of those, they have the freedom to do it because they don't have the big, huge budget.
Right. No corporate pressure.
Corporate pressure. So I think that what I would like to see, especially for some of the bigger game companies, is for them to go back and get that equilibrium. Okay. Develop the hardware. Sure. That's fine. Put an equal amount of effort into the writing.
Yeah.
And really bring those stories out. And that way people won't just be, ooh, shiny. It'll be, oh, I want to play this again. I want to see this story again. I want to experience it again. And I think that's where video games really need to go.
I agree.
I think I agree. And I think an example of like a AAA game where that kind of showcases that, like, if you take those constraints of budget off, people still have the writing chops to tell a great story, is the game Red Dead Redemption 2. Because that's a very big AAA game with a lot of freedom, but obviously Rockstar has more money than the Catholic Church and can make whatever they want at this point. And
they're about to make GTA 6.
I know, it's going to make billions of dollars. But with Red Dead 2, I don't feel like there are those constraints to get that game out on a certain date, or to limit its budget. And the game looks great, has an incredible story. Arthur Morgan is synonymous with great character work. And so I definitely think it's something that's still possible. But for most companies that aren't called Rockstar, they got to learn to how to scale their games a little bit better. And I feel like we are kind of hitting this point where, like, continuous hardware improvement is not infinitely scalable, right? And so we were never going to be able to keep increasing the, like, fidelity of games infinitely. Budgets ballooned. We talked on this podcast a lot before about, like, Spider-Man 2, the game, which is an excellent game. But it cost $400 and some million to make. That's wild. There's no way to make any kind of money, and you got to imagine those developers are under a lot of pressure to deliver something, and that's just not necessarily conducive to, like, expression. It's
crazy that it would be considered, like, Sony didn't consider it to be the financial success they wanted because it only sold 10 million copies.
Yes.
Insane.
Poor. Yeah. But to be fair, Sony's looking at that. That's the highest selling PS4 game of all time, was Spider-Man. This PS4's competitor, not the PS4's competitor, but the Switch, which was running kind of concurrently. The Switch, like the top, like, gosh, like 13 games starts at 10 million and goes up to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is at, like, almost 80 million. So I can see how, like, Sony looks at that and goes, like, Nintendo's selling 80 million copies of Mario. We wanted to use Spider-Man to do that. But to your point is that, like, I think as long as video games keep ballooning like that, there's very little motivation to tell, because tell like a provocative story, something that really speaks to you, because the developer of Super Smash Brothers, Masahiro Sakurai, started a YouTube channel last year and did a bunch of videos, and in it he breaks down game direction. And something that he says is, he's like, you might think that that a democratic process is the best way to make a video game, where everyone just gets to vote on good ideas. He goes, but it's not a good way to make a video game, because that just means that each choice is usually the safest, which is usually the worst choice.
You heard it here, guys. The Power Up Brothers podcast does not believe in democracy. We want it gone. We want
in our gaming development studios,
and starting our game development studios and ballooning out into everything else in life.
No, we can't say that.
When it comes to storytelling,
the
most interesting wave of storytelling I think that I've seen is the kind of rise of the Dark Souls series, because as Dark Souls has become more popular, and Studio FromSoft has been able to do bigger and bigger projects, they've kind of set a precedent for a different way of telling stories in video games that uses the actual mechanics and interface of a game to tell a story. And I have a giant 45-minute long lecture about how storytelling in Elden Ring is genius. But a part of what makes the storytelling in Elden Ring so unique, and the reason that it's become one of my favorite stories in gaming, is all the little decisions tell the story. Right. So like even just the way enemies attack sometimes is telling the story. Yeah. Background environment ideas are telling the story. The way the weapons work, the way the difficulty is set up, that's all elements of storytelling. It's some really, really interesting ways. And you can't get that if everybody has a say. Like, it's a piece of art. Right. Yeah. You need some kind of like vision for it. Yeah. Like, I would not step into a studio with like Sakaguchi, the creator of Final Fantasy, and be like, hey, I think my opinion here matters more than yours on this game you're making, right? Yeah. Like his vision for how
I would say that, but I'm crazy.
Well, but so many games run into the issue where like you can tell that a bunch of people have had their hands in it, because like every single character is likable. Every single character has very little conflict amongst them. Yeah. And it's clearly like this discussion going on where people are like voting on, maybe not like literally, but they're just sort of saying like, oh, well, like, we can have like...
Nobody wants their favorite character to be unliked.
Right. We can have like Miles and Peter have like a fight when Peter has the black suit on, but not too much. Like Peter just kind of gets angry at him and kind of just yells at him. And it's like, did you read the Spider-Man comics where the black suit was taking over? Peter was becoming a horrible person and like doing horrible things. And that's what prompted him to be like, I'm becoming violent with my friends. Like, I'm becoming a violent person. And so the kind of like, you end up with sort of these like very middle of the road stuff where everybody, there was too much pressure. And I also wonder about corporate pressure where they're like, don't make Spider-Man a bad guy. We can't sell it if he's mean.
Art should comfort the disturbed and disturb the comforted. And so if you try to democratize art, people aren't going to vote for something that makes them uncomfortable.
Yeah. It should be above the below and below the upper.
I think actually there's another problem, is that I actually feel like right now there's a whole bunch of games that have basically taken the thing that you're talking about and done. Like Elden Ring, if you zoom in on your character, they look like a PlayStation 2 character. It's bad. The graphics in Elden Ring are, and big air quotes here, bad. But hit the screenshot button at any point in Elden Ring, and you're going to see something that could be a painting. Yeah. That game is beautiful because the direction, like.
But Ethan, if the graphics are bad, why does it run so badly?
Because it's.
I really don't know.
It's because it's from.
I really don't know.
They're still working on Mac computers from the late 80s. But it's because of art direction. Like, there is a literal castle on a lake in the distance that you come out of this one tunnel and you come out to see it in all of its glory at a hilltop looking over the lake. That's the art direction, not the graphical horsepower, right?
Right.
there are games like Lies of P, where even the graphics are good, but they scale everything down. You know, like they didn't get caught in the like open world trap. A lot of modern games do, where they don't have a reason to be open world, they just want to.
Yeah.
You know, Breath of the Wild, amazing reason to be open world, right?
Yeah.
You know, lots of other games, there's no reason for them to be. They should have been hallways.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
fine. And critically, there's games like Clair Obscur, where the story is insanely good and the characters are insanely good.
Yeah.
And the graphics look good because they're using a lot of the like modern like lenses and stuff, modern effects that engines just come with to make good looking graphics, but not like
Not as much
trying
custom
to not
stuff.
trying to like knock anyone's socks off or like do some kind of crazy thing. Mostly they just are like, well, we have a few like things that work in this engine that are going to make it look really good.
Yeah.
They actually use like this one filter called like the cute filter from Korea.
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of Korean like phone games use, and it makes it look really interesting. But the gameplay is also like classic RPG with a little bit of like the Paper Mario timed events.
Yeah.
A phenomenal story, absolutely devastatingly heartbreaking. All of these smaller studios are pushing that. They're like, hey, this should impact you in some way.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason that everyone right now, if you go on YouTube and you mention anything of Lies of P, you're going to see the cutscene from the last boss. He is on screen for just that fight, and everyone is losing their mind about how good the cutscenes were, about how good the art direction was, how impactful it was. Bigger studios, sometimes it feels like we've had this happen before, where the smaller studios are like nailing it, and then bigger studios are like, what if we didn't learn our lesson from it?
Yeah.
What if we tried making the graphics even better? What if we just fired everybody after we released our game? Would we make all the money then? Would that be a good idea? I feel like they have to get like, for the industry to take a turn like that, they just have to have like the piano dropped on them at least twice.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to get it with once, right? Like there will be this wave of games exactly like the ones I just mentioned, and they will go, yeah, but I think if we made another one where you shoot more lasers.
Yeah.
What if we made Master Chief Collection 4?
Right.
You know?
Right.
And I think that you're hitting on what's actually going on, because I've played games before that they weren't that great.
Sure.
The graphics weren't that great, but the story was fantastic. So I played the game. But what you're talking about is something that people are learning more and more. Just because something has a big budget doesn't mean it's going to be good.
No.
Yeah,
it's
sure.
starting to mean the opposite.
It's starting to mean the opposite.
Yeah.
But, you're saying these little indie studios that don't have the overblown budgets of these big companies, they have to make their games better. And they can only go so far graphically because they don't have $100 million to put into the game.
Right.
So they're writing the characters, they're writing the story, and they're making sure that it all fits together. They're actually trying for that equilibrium because they don't have the budget to do anything bigger.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it might have been you that first said this to me, but you once told me that all great artists are hungry. They have like something drives them to do.
Also,
this
they're
thing.
making no money, and they're
making
literally
no money
hungry.
while they're
Right.
hungry.
Yeah.
But like, if you're not passionate enough to put your art out there, it's probably not worth putting out there, right?
Sure.
But like, at some point, once you have like all,
Why do we keep
of
making
it-
this podcast?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Can't figure it out.
But at some point, if you have like, the almost guaranteed success a lot of these companies have, you wind up with like what Pokemon has become, where they have no reason to ever try to make a good Pokemon because it's going to be successful no matter what they do.
Right.
Yeah.
So like they don't need to make a better engine. They don't need to make it look good. They don't even have to try it.
Which I've got a Pokemon topic.
Nintendo 64,
The
that I
worst thing
put-
for any
that I need to put in the
series
bag.
or game is to constantly succeed.
Yeah, no
Because
matter
constant success, inability to fail at all is going to lead to like a form of stagnation.
what. Yeah.
And so like I think that to answer the initial question though, because one of the things you ask at the onset of
Where
this
do video
topic
games
was
need to go?
where do they go from here? And I
Yeah.
actually see a trend that I think maybe is just around the curve. of where they are going to go. And it does relate somewhat to the storytelling of a game. And I think it's mixed media projects. It's been attempted a couple of times in video games. A great example that we would all be familiar with would be like the video game Shadows of the Empire, Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. This was a novel that was released. It was also a video game that got released. And a comic book, I want to say.
I think it was just book.
I think there was a comic.
I think there was a comic.
It was this synchronous release of a few different kinds of media.
They were all different perspectives
at the
on
same-
the one.
Dispatch has a comic.
See, like putting out, and there are lots of, like, League of Legends has a show, and now they're
Arcane was great.
But synchronizing that with the release of a game, and having each cross promote the other is something that has been attempted, but I don't think we ever really have had a lot of success. But now you've got Netflix, who traditionally makes and funds movies and TV shows, making and funding games, and you've got more people in the gaming industry than ever before getting into making movies. And around the curve, I think, is getting those things to actually cross promote instead of releasing, the Uncharted movie 10 years after the last Uncharted game came out, right? Like there's no synchronicity there, right?
Right.
Instead, you use them to, like, hey, these are kind of, how do you want to experience this thing? Do you want to read the novel first, or do you want to play the game? Do you want to watch the show? There's all kinds of different ways for people to experience the same story, and maybe I'm the guy who played the game, you're the guy who read the book, and we're sitting here and we're talking about it together as though we've experienced a similar, like, the same thing, and I get different perspectives from you, and you get different perspectives from me. I think that's going to happen sometime in the next decade or so.
I also feel like the field is about to get more competitive, and the competition is good. The competition is going to be really good for a lot of these bigger companies as well, even though they might just resist it until they die, because so many of them just, like, Capcom's just shelved everything. They just don't make any games anymore.
They make Monster Hunter and Resident Evil.
They make Resident Evil and Monster Hunter,
because nothing competes with those,
right?
Because, like, these companies got big,
and because
off of, like,
the creators
winning in
of
an
those
area.
series are still there and still working on things.
I think that right now, what you look at is, and what you see is when we talk about power in like video gaming, that equilibrium you were talking about, right? We've gotten to a point where the access to that degree of power is much more broad.
Yeah.
So the reason indie companies can make these games is that to access the degree of, like, power to create a game that has, like, a certain scope is now easier than it used to be.
It's getting easier and easier. Yeah.
An indie studio,
wasn't Claire Obscure technically an indie studio?
I'm pretty sure it's an indie studio.
Yeah. So, like, a game I talk about a lot that has a big update coming, I'm about to rant about it a ton soon, is Enshrouded.
Yeah.
Enshrouded is made by an indie studio that's basically made one game before it that was fairly successful, and they just funded it off of that.
Yep.
When you step out from Enshrouded and you look over the world, it's not insignificantly different than it's not that different than Breath of the Wild or Red Dead in scope when you're looking out over it.
Right.
Now, there's all sorts of polished things that a big AAA studio can throw at that. There's all sorts of money they can throw at that, but at the end of the day, every single part of the world in Enshrouded you can dig through. It's all voxel based, which makes it kind of insane. And when little indie companies can throw stuff out there that looks like that, everybody else has to step up.
Yeah.
You got $1 billion you're throwing at a game, you got to step up, because these guys who made, like, Portal Knights, everything look like Legos, they made enough money to fund.
The Enshrouded guys made Portal Knights.
Yeah.
That was their last game.
That was their
pretty
only
good game.
That's a pretty good game.
Well, and to your point, in the industry, gaps are closing. So, like, I don't think any of us ever thought we would be playing a game like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild on a console that you can take with you that's like this thin.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Tears of the Kingdom came out in, 2023?
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've played Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, but you can literally just pick things up and, like, build these crazy contraptions and machines inside of not a Minecraft world, but a very alive world on a 5-watt console. Like, that Nintendo worked their magic to do. Those gaps are closing. Like the game, when you look at like the gap between Game Boy Color and Nintendo 64, that's when the gap was at its biggest. You know, Mario 64 was Mario running around in the 3D space, and the Game Boy was the bottom
just
end.
got color.
Just got color.
That was its big feature.
And even the other
All the
portables
games had
at
color
the time,
though.
They did.
They did have
well,
port-
no,
yeah.
only some games.
I hope
But
it's
even
day
backwards-
out, otherwise you won't be able to see.
Backwards
Yeah.
compatible to some
That's
of that
It's
color.
true.
That's
It's
true.
true.
Where's my backwards compatible mouse?
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Animal Crossing, it's coming.
Curious.
No, but
If it's old,
so I do think the gap is going to close eventually. Where like Clair Obscur is close. Like I see it. And it's one of the more graphically impressive games that I've seen because it can.
You could trick me into thinking that was from a big studio like EA.
Yeah, and so like I think eventually the next step for games is the fact that I do think we'll get back to some sort of equilibrium because the industry will be forced. They're getting close. Or like the PS4 and PS5 aren't that different. Like the visual difference.
I mean, they are under the hood, but like
sure.
most PS5 games are just PS4 games that run at 4K 60.
Exactly. And so like the PlayStation 6 cannot possibly be that much of a leap from the
It'll be
PS5.
inside your mind.
Yes.
That's the next generation. They sell you imagination.
Yeah. So the funny thing is I want to share
Yeah.
I want to share one of my favorite, speaking of graphics, I want to share one of my favorite Uncle Chris stories that I had was that like I am fully aware, as my whole life I've been fully aware that you fall under the legal classification of blind.
Yes.
But I remember asking you once, I was like, Uncle Chris, what was the first video game that you were like, wow, this looks so realistic? And the first words out of your mouth, you went, well, I'm blind. And I was like, right. Ask a legally blind guy, like, what game looked so realistic?
Pong.
But I love that story, but I don't remember what you said, because then you gave a real answer. So I'll ask it to you again. Knowing that you're blind, what was the first game that you were like wowed by its graphics? Because if you were around for the Atari 2600, and I think it's interesting that someone from that era admits that even in that era you weren't impressed by the way it looked.
No,
It's not just us.
It was novel.
Yeah.
It was something
Right.
new. It was
Right.
different, and it appealed to us as a generation. But no, it was not impressive at all.
Right.
And
Blue
Yeah.
Pixel just killed Red Pixel. Oh no.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
That was my favorite character, was Red Pixel.
actually, the NES,
Mhm.
some of it was pretty good,
Oh, okay.
but it had some vibrant colors for the time.
That's true. Yeah.
The Super NES has one of my favorite games,
Which is
Legend of Zelda:
A Link to the Past.
Link to the Past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even now, I think the jump between NES and Super NES is still kind of crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like I'm used to it, but that was a big jump.
Let me ask. So, like, Star Fox had like 3D, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
there were some games like the Atari Jaguar had some 3D. I remember like looking at old games. It felt like when the Sega Genesis started having those like 3D models, kind of the way Donkey Kong
Yeah, they
also
just-
had like they were like 3D.
They rasterized a
they rasterized 3D
3D model.
That
Yeah.
felt like a big jump.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little after my time. Like, it was a little before my time, but like when I saw that for the first time, and I was like, there were 3D models like Star Fox where you could see that they were using like vectors to put everything together, right?
Yes.
These solid plate colors,
Tries and
pretty slow frame rate as well. But when like Vector Man shows up and he's not made of vectors, I don't know why
he's a
called Vector
liar.
Man. But like he was like the monsters looked 3D. They
Yeah.
looked like Pixar monsters, but they were just rasterized images. Like Donkey Kong Country did that. That also felt like a big step.
That was hardware.
Yeah.
That was a
FX chip in Super Nintendo.
Yeah, the FX chip. But those video cartridges and a lot of the Sega Genesis, they came with a processing chip in the cartridge.
Yeah, they were insanely expensive.
They were insanely expensive.
Donkey Kong Country was $99 when it came out.
That's wild.
And that's why, because it had a secondary chip.
Yeah.
So you had your main chip in your console, secondary chip in the cartridge, and it boosted the computing power of the system beyond what it was typically capable of.
Which is crazy.
And that gave you the better graphics.
Yeah. Imagine bundling a video game with something to enhance the...
Yeah, imagine that like Metroid
like,
Prime 4 comes out and it's like includes NVIDIA GPU that you have to plug in.
That would be like Grand Theft Auto 6 including a hooker with every purchase.
Yeah.
Actually, you just gave Rockstar their marketing idea.
I don't care about the graphics. I think the next thing video games need to do is we need to get back to the and Knuckles era.
And Knuckles,
right?
yeah.
I want them to
just
sell
start
me
tacking stuff
an
on.
and Knuckles.
We're already there,
game
pal.
that I already
DLC
there.
is and Knuckles.
No, I want to sell it
Deal.
backwards.
Backwards
mod it
into.
in-
Yeah,
I
yeah,
want them
yeah.
to
We're
mod it in-
That's
already
true.
there. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came out with a DLC pack
there's
9
like
years after
40
it.
true.
Nintendo Switch 2
But I
editions
want to
coming
actually-
I
out.
want to
That's
plug
actually
it
a good
in.
point.
I want it to click.
You want to
Yeah.
click?
Plug it in.
I want to click. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I want the clicky.
Well, I
cartridges
remember
back.
seeing Sonic Adventure for the first time at my cousin's house,
Yeah.
and I saw one of the humans walk past Sonic in Station Square,
Looked like a real
and I
person.
literally exclaimed, "Graphics will never surpass this," because that just
Never
looks like a
compare.
human being. There's
Yeah.
nothing. To be fair, it was a fuzzy CRT picture, so you can't
Those
blame me
scan
too
lines
much.
smoothed a lot
Yeah,
of.
and the radiation from the CRT was clear.
Yeah.
It dehydrated you rapidly. Like
That
you
was
shrinking.
that was also before we got you on those pills.
I wasn't even looking at the TV. I was just staring.
You were looking at your cousin.
I'm looking at my cousin. Graphics will never get better than
and
this.
then you killed them.
Yeah, oh no.
I think honestly though,
Yeah.
the first thing that I ever saw that I was truly just
Wow.
surprised, wowed by was actually the TurboGrafx.
Oh,
I mean, it was a pretty big jump.
yeah.
You know, the
It
TurboGrafx.
was.
Was there a game in particular you remember?
There was a couple of games that I played. They were just amazing because there were those that had live video clips
Mhm.
of people.
Oh yeah.
You know, some of the cut scenes were
Like Night
actual
Trap.
humans,
Yeah.
which was just amazing because you didn't have that outside of a computer.
Right.
Right.
So for a home system that's playing this, just incredible.
Yeah.
Of course, I have this weakness for doomed video game systems.
Yeah, you've
You're sitting in
mentioned
the right spot.
you've mentioned
for it.
an Atari and a TurboGrafx,
Yeah.
which was made by who? Who made TurboGrafx?
Turbo NEC.
NEC. Yeah, that's what it
NEC
was.
the hardware company that made it.
Yeah.
Hudson Soft was
Hudson.
actually
Yeah.
behind it.
Yep.
Hudson Soft being, they claim, and pretty good claim, to being the first actual software company to ever
I
exist.
think so. Yeah, Hudson Soft. And aren't you glad that Konami ate them and has destroyed them
And now
to
it
make
just makes
pachinko machines? Yeah.
Talk about those guys giving up.
That's not entirely true. Sometimes they hire other people to remake games
That's
that they
true.
made a long
That's
time
true.
ago.
Well, guys, get down there in the comments and tell us, where do you think video games should go next? Uncle Chris,
Yeah.
thank you for the topic.
Yeah,
that was
no
great.
problem.
That's fantastic.
Harrison, how we looking? What do you want to do? Oh, producer.
We probably only have time to do games we haven't played but have strong feelings.
I love doing that game.
opinions. We have strong opinions about.
No, it's feelings.
No, it's opinions.
No, it's feelings.
Feelings.
Guys, welcome to Games I Haven't Played, but that I have strong opinions
Opinions.
about. This is a game where you say, I like how we both said it together. I wanted to really drill home that it's opinions. This is a game where you say a game that you haven't played, you say your strong opinion, and no one in this room can question you or comment on it.
It's all up to you guys.
But
Get
you
in the
guys get down to the comments, let us know.
We can't.
Because
Say anything.
because Harrison kicked it off. Is Harrison going to start it
Yes.
as he vigorously writes notes?
I don't have a game yet.
Ethan, can you kick it off for us? Tell us a game you haven't played and your strong opinion.
Game I haven't played that I have a very strong opinion about.
Yeah, right.
I'm trying not to repeat some of them that I
That's
haven't
fine. That's the
played
game.
yet.
No one's gonna see this episode and the one
Yeah.
you repeated.
Yeah.
They will. Get in the
will.
comments and call me
get in
out
the
for
comments.
when I
Yeah,
said this.
go for it.
I haven't played the new Battlefield yet.
Okay,
That's one I know I haven't said.
right.
Okay,
No,
there you
definitely
I've
not.
seen it played.
You don't even know the name of it.
6,
There you go.
possibly.
There's no way that's right. Go for it.
Possibly.
I'm not commenting on it.
But my strong opinion is that it is the best Battlefield because it's the silliest Battlefield.
Oh,
It's the best because it's silliest. That's what they need to learn from this.
Okay.
Silly
be
to
silly.
make it the best.
Do more.
Yeah, do that again. Again,
Okay.
it's good.
Okay.
That's a part of the opinion, but my opinion is it's good specifically because it's the silliest one.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. I have never played Ales and Tales. Did I get it right?
Close enough.
But I need to relax, and I don't like zombies eating my face. I don't find that relaxing. So if I ever need to relax, I'm not going to play that game. I might play it if I'm like, you know what? I'm too calm right now. I need to freak out and get attacked. Yeah.
I have.
What I'm trying to say is your friend was wrong and dumb.
Yeah.
All right, time.
I've never played Escape from Tarkov, but I'm pretty sure it's exclusively used to train terrorists.
I don't even think that's a real game. Escape from. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You would know terrorists.
Just outed yourself.
No, I remember I had some classmates that played it when I was in
Oh,
school.
okay.
They grew up to become
Did
terrorists,
you
didn't they?
did you think of the game that you haven't played?
Game I haven't played, but I have a strong feeling about Pokemon Black and White.
Oh,
Really?
I
I'm
never played
surprised.
them.
Wow.
They were probably my strong opinion is that they were the last good Pokemon games.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
You're really holding out hope. He's gonna play it.
It's gonna
and
suck.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
terrible. Uncle Chris, take us home.
I have never played the Old Republic,
Oh, okay, the
the
MMO.
MMO.
yeah.
The MMO.
and I'm not going to.
Mhm.
If I want to play a game like that, I'll go back and play KOTOR. That's a much better use of my time
It's true.
than playing Knights of the Old Republic.
Mm.
That's my opinion.
All right.
And remember to like, share, and
Wow.
subscribe.
If you're a fan of the old Star Wars: The Old Republic, remember to like, share, and subscribe to make us force Chris to play
Yeah,
it on stream.
we'll make him play it on stream.
Yeah.
Guys, if you're still here, thanks for being here. Thanks to Uncle Chris for
Yes,
being here.
thanks so
I much.
Finally
enjoyed it.
got you to have on the pod. And thanks to you guys. We're at 200 subscribers, guys.
Awesome.
As of recording 201.
It's inspiring to think of 200 people clicking
Yeah.
the ignore button when our notification comes up.
that did not turn on the
I'm
bell,
one of
but
those
did hit
people. That's not a
subscribe.
criticism. That's
No.
good. That's just good.
Hey, just
common
thanks for
sense.
subscribing. Thanks for being here. Go ahead,
We
Harrison.
love you.
Oh, never mind. I'm not.
Yeah, and if you guys have time and you want to throw us some coffee money, go to patreon.com/power up bros.
Coffee. That's what we should have said.
There we go. No, we want you guys to be our power up pal so that you can put your own topics and get them on the podcast. We want to hear your topics
Yeah.
because we're running out. It's just me left in there.
It's pretty
Oh
bad.
no, I sent
We
like
need-
50 today.
okay,
pretty bad.
good. Thank
No,
goodness.
Not
Thank
yet.
Thank
I just
goodness.
added a couple in.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
just
going to
saying.
write one that just says why.
Here's the thing. Let me give the best
Why?
pitch for joining our Patreon.
Oh, go for
next
it.
week, Quentin will probably be back.
Ah,
If you don't
yeah.
want his topics to be the ones we talk about,
Please save
subscribe
us.
to our Patreon.
Save us.
So you can send us topics and we can read those instead.
Sign
Yeah.
up for our Patreon or you will die. It'll be like 90 years from now.
Right.
You'll be surrounded by friends and family.
Yes.
And then your life will just gone. That's a threat.
Guys,
You'll be surrounded by your cats and dogs after you go, and they'll take care of the mess.
They take, you know.
That's true. That's true.
It's true.
Guys, if you're still here, go down there in the comments and tell us the game that you thought that like blew your mind graphically. You were like,
That's
it'll
right.
never get better. Tell
get
us that
better.
game. If you're blind, that'd be even funnier. If you like just voice to text and you just say, "Devin, I'm blind."
I'm pretty sure it's
I
Angry
deserve that.
Birds for most people.
Yeah, probably. No, I've looked at our demographic. There's no
way.
children on this podcast.
no
Thank
way.
God.
Thank God.
But guys, thank you guys for being here.
Yes,
See you
thank you.
next
See you
week.
next week.
Bye-bye.
Next week. Farewell. Au revoir. See you later.